Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to this week's edition of Mental Mondays, and really appreciate you guys joining us for today's video. And welcome to the club here, guys. Everybody that is real familiar with Mental Mondays, you guys know what we do here once a week. And if you're not, this is something we do. Take a break from the fishing videos and sort of like to talk about stuff that affects us mentally and emotionally a little bit. And I think it's a good sort of therapeutic healing time for everybody because we get a lot of good comments after the Mental Mondays. So just wanted to welcome everybody if it's your first time here. Guys, today we're going to be talking about something that, if you're fortunate enough to live into older age that you're going to deal with, and that is dealing with the time in your life where all of your friends and family have either passed away or are in the process or getting ready to, and where you're losing people on a regular basis out there. This is one of the most challenging parts of being here in this human existence we find ourselves in. That's where I wanted to give you guys some tips and advice from my perspective because, I've, lost a lot of friends and family that have been around me. I'm 62 years old. I'm getting to that age where, people are starting to pass on. And for example, it's like my parents had a really wide friend group when I was in school. Like when I was a kid, they had lots of friends. We had lots of family. Always something going on the weekend. There was always some type of get together, just lots of interaction. People used to do that back in the 60s and 70s, not so much now with all the things we have to distract us from just visiting with people one-on-one. But anyway, when I was a kid, there was a huge friend group and friends and family. And as time went on, those people slowly started passing away to where now most all of that friend group that my parents had and including my parents, they've all passed on now. So I've lost a lot of that, as far as that very impactful group of people in my life. And, people your own age, younger, older, they just start, passing away with more regularity. So I really want to talk a little bit about, how to deal with that when that comes about, because I know from my own viewpoint out there, there's a sadness that comes with that can't be denied. I don't think anybody can get past that. It's just the passing of an era, and some things that you can do to maybe deal with that when the inevitable comes. Because if you're one of those people that are fortunate enough to live into your 80s and 90s, most of your friends and family, if not all, once you get really old into your 90s, are going to be gone, and there's going to be very few people that within your friend group that has been in your friend group for a long time that are still around. A lot of people find themselves on their own. So what can you do about that? First of all, a couple different pieces of advice. I think one of the most important things you have to do, not in your older age, but from any age, once you start getting in your 20s or 30s or whatever, you have to sort of accept the fact that nothing stays the same in life. Life is constantly changing. It's like it's fleeting all the time from us. And the friend groups that you have, the people that you have friends that you are friends with now, and the situations you have in your life, whether it be your job or your social interactions or just anything in your life, eventually that is going to change and be gone. It's just a matter of time with that. So I think if you take that premise, knowing that life is just change in action and nothing more with that, and realize that every moment that we have is super special because it's not going to be around in that same form ever again, accepting that that change is coming, it really will help you the impact will be a lot less if you can sort of adopt that into your way of thinking. Because what happens if you realize that, the good friends that you have right now, the friendships you have with your friends and family, that, they're going to change. People are going to pass on. There's going to be things that are never the same after a certain point, even if you really, really want to hang on to that, more than anything else, it is going to change eventually. And if you accept that, and if you think about that, and if you meditate that allows you to experience the times that you do have with those people now in a much more impactful, productive way. Because everybody hears about the cliche of living in the moment. Guys, that is one of the most profound bits of wisdom that you'll ever pick up. And you can't ever let it seem like a cliche, because it's so true. It's like when you are around your friends and family now, the people that you really enjoy spending time with, when you're around them, make sure that you just are completely in that moment and you absorb that moment and your full attention is on that moment, because it's never going to be the same again. Never is going to be the same. And a good example is like over my family's always had big holiday gatherings, ever since I was a little kid, large gatherings of, 20, 30 people a lot of times. As each year progresses, fewer and fewer of those people are at those gatherings because they passed on. And that's sort of the transition of an era out there. So when you're in a situation like that, just really take the time to appreciate it for what it is at the time. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be any person in your life that you find worth your time to spend around. I don't care if it's a close family, friend, personal relationship with somebody you work with, or an acquaintance you have. When you're around that person, just realize no matter how satisfying it is and no matter how good it is to be around that person, it's not going to always be like that. Something is going to happen one day with either yourself or the other person that's going to change the dynamic of that relationship forever. So I think the more that you can be grateful for the time that you have with those people and don't slop through it, and really fully immerse yourself in being with those people, along with accepting the fact that change is coming and change is inevitable, that really grounds you. It sets you in a position where when the inevitable happens, you're not going to experience a lot of the depression and sadness that a lot of people have with that. A lot of it is just your point of view. And another thing about this is it affects everybody different, because some people are simply more independent than others. Some people are very social creatures and they need to be around people all the time. Other people are more solitary and they can do fine on their own. So no one situation is the same with that. Another thing to remember with that, it's really important, I think, to spend time with memories. It's like when you lose somebody, one of the best ways that you can do to come to peace with that and come to terms with that once you do get past the initial of all the grieving process is just constantly keep them in the forefront of your memory and try to remember those good memories that you have about that person. Most of the time, if you have a relationship or a close relationship with a friend or family member, once that person passes on, you don't remember a lot of the bad stuff. I mean, every relationship out there has its challenges and bad times out there, but you don't really remember that after people pass. You want to hang on. You want to remember the good times and the positive times. And I think by spending time on a regular basis reflecting on those memories, that's very powerful, because memories are powerful that we have. It will bring you back to a reality that you once had, even if it's on a small temporary level. So spend a lot of time keeping those people alive in your memories all the time. And another thing with that is, if you're one of those people that is very social, I think one of the best things that you can do as you age and you're starting to lose people around you is you've got to always stay connected with some type of a friend group. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of different things out there available to people to keep them around other people and active, different type of, groups that you can be involved with, make new friendships. The internet is a great way to do that. I mean, the internet keeps people connected. It connects people that have similar trains of thought and ways of thinking. Use that to your advantage. And the more that you do that, you can continually make new friend groups. So even though that you've lost ones in the past, if you can continually cultivate new friendships, that's going to take the pain away from that as well. A lot of people I know, I've got some buddies out there that, have lost a lot of people and they don't have many people left in their life, but they're just independent, more loner type people. And they do fine just being by themselves and reading and watching TV and being involved in projects that they have. So everybody's got a different, a level of need as far as interacting with other people once their friend and family group has passed on. But that's just part of life, guys. That's the thing about it. There's some realities in life that are not easy. They're hard, and that's part of this incredible adventure we find ourselves in. Because in the human experience, if you live a full life, you're going to experience like every range of emotion that a human has, from the most joyful aspects of being in physical form to the most, depressing, the most challenging aspects of being in the human form, and everything in between. It's almost like that's the way it was intended to be. It's like if you live life to the fullest, you're going to experience a wide range of emotions. And I think just being aware of that's a big step in the right direction to make it where that is not quite as intense and painful as it is for other people out there. But it's going to be tough. I mean, there's nothing easy about it, man. When you lose people close to you and you start doing that on a regular basis, I mean, there's a sadness that takes over. And I think that as you age and as you get older and as you start losing people around you like that, it's almost like you have a duality in how you live. It's like half of your life is focused on, being in the present, being in the living, functioning in the world. And the other half of you out there has sort of died along with that. And those two things can interact together. I think that's sort of a natural byproduct of that. It's like there's going to be people that you lose in your life, that there's always going to be a hole there. I mean, it can't be replaced. And sometimes the intensity of that loss varies with every single situation out there, and it's never easy. And from that point of view out there, it's really important, like I said, to just have somebody out there that you can bounce it off of. Man, it's so important to constantly cultivate friendships in the type of friendships where you can talk to people that are good listeners, not necessarily give you advice, but just have an ear. That is so therapeutic, and that is so healing, just to be able to verbalize how you're feeling about loss to another person. So those people out there that you can talk to like that, those are special people. If you've got somebody in your life that you can just sort of unload on without being judged, or without being, criticized, or without being, told how to feel about something out there, those are some, high level friends out there. So really look and try to gravitate towards those type of people, because they are special with that. But anyway, guys, just know that you're not alone, man. Everybody goes through it. We're in this whole thing together. Everybody experiences those same emotions out there. And I think it's good to sort of lean on each other when we need to do that. I think that's one of the wonderful aspects of of being human out there, is that we do have the ability to lean on other people for comfort and compassion, and to be able to talk about things like this. So try to establish those type of friendships up there, because they're going to be really important as you get older. So anyway, guys, hope you all are well. We'll talk later next week.